The observation chamber aboard the Cynosure was silent, save for the faint rhythmic hum of environmental regulators and the occasional chirp of distant telemetry. Cold starlight bled through the high windows, casting geometric patterns across the polished black floor. The room had been designed for contemplation, for watching the stars, and now it had become a theater for revelation. The broadcast still echoed in the space. President Connors's voice had cut like a monofilament blade. Calm, declarative, final. No mention of conquest, only inheritance, no confession of brutality, only progress. Emma stood motionless near the viewport, her breath fogging slightly on the chilled glass. She hadn't spoken since the address ended. Behind her, Jace paced, jaw tight, hands opening and closing like he needed something to strike. Elias stood near the central interface pedestal, amber eyes dimmed to a soft glow. His shoulders were lowered, head slightly bowed. Jace finally broke the silence.
She called the Varelians terrorists. I thought I misheard her.
Emma let out a dry laugh, bitter.
We've worked with them for over a decade. Shared data. Coordinated planetary recovery. Half the Vault decryption protocols were built with Varelian insight.
She's rewriting history to suit the narrative.
Elias said.
To justify aggression before the masses start asking questions.
Jace stopped and looked at Emma.
What if we told them? The public? Everything. The simulations, the Vault collapse patterns, the spiral.
Emma finally turned. Her expression was unreadable, exhausted, sharpened, resolved.
I've already started arranging a covert broadcast, encrypted, relayed through independent stations along the Belt and the Vesta corridor. No direct trace back to us.
Elias's head lifted slightly.
You've already begun?
I had to. This isn't just about us anymore. If they're willing to smear our allies and silence history, what happens when the spiral activates? When the vaults tip?
Elias moved closer, his mechanical gait near soundless.
If you send that broadcast, they will trace it. Eventually. You know what the G.U.P does to traitors?
Emma's jaw set.
Then let them come.
No, not yet.
Jace crossed his arms.
You'd rather we sit here? Let Connors win without resistance?
I'd rather we survive long enough to do something meaningful. If you become a martyr now, the data is lost. The movement dies in a whisper. I made a deal to keep the military off the Lhasa for now. But if we provoke Connors, she'll tear that treaty apart.
Emma exhaled, shaking her head.
So what do we do? Just wait? Watch?
No. We prepare.
He gestured to the central interface. With a flick of his fingers, a series of displays flared to life. Vault schematics, energy spikes, signal decay curves, and beneath them all, the spiral pattern, pulsing red in its triangular seal. Jace moved closer.
What are we looking at?
Signal drift. Something's changed in the Vault resonance matrix. It's accelerating. We may not have years. We may have weeks.
Emma stared at the screen.
Then the people need to know.
Elias tilted his head, expression unreadable.
They won't believe you. Not yet. Right now, they see Connors as a savior, the woman who promises unity and strength. You show them this. They'll call it propaganda, sabotage.
Then what?
Elias stepped closer to the terminal, hands hovering over the controls.
We show them something they can't ignore. A simulation isn't enough. They need a signal, a shift, a fracture in the illusion.
Jace arched a brow.
You're suggesting we trigger a collapse?
No, but we prepare to document the next one. When the vaults slip again, and they will, we intercept the feed, broadcast it live. No edits, no cover-ups.
Emma considered this, her hands balled at her sides.
We'll need allies, independent nodes, stations not tied to EarthNet.
I know some. Old resistance frequencies from the early Belt days. Might be dormant, but I can reactivate them.
The room dimmed as the external lights cycled down for orbital night. The stars outside seemed colder now, distant, silent witnesses to the slow suffocation of truth. Emma turned back to the glass. Below them, the shattered crescent of Thalassa glowed softly in the dark, haloed by debris fields and mining satellites.
I didn't sign up for this.
Jace stepped beside her.
None of us did.
But here we are,
Elias said from behind them.
standing at the edge of another collapse. The difference is, this time, we might see it coming.
No one spoke for a long time. Only the hum of the Cynosure filled the chamber, and beyond it, the spiral pulsed, slow and steady, like a heartbeat in the dark. Far from the Cynosure's observation deck, below the calm surface of official broadcasts and state-approved narratives, another directive had already been issued. Quietly, ruthlessly, the G.U.P military had begun the hunt. It started with names, geneticists, bioengineers, exobiologists, anyone even tangentially tied to the lattice sequencing research that had originated from Varelian cooperation, and any Varelian geneticist that worked on longevity. The public narrative framed it as a containment effort, a way to root out so-called rogue actors who had compromised civilian stability by tampering with unregulated enhancement protocols. But those within the deeper systems of the G.U.P command network knew better. This wasn't about containment, it was about immortality for the G.U.P elite. In a black site near the shadowed rim of L4 station, General Lira stood before a hollow screen, scrolling with dossiers. Dozens of them, some marked with red bands, already detained, already chipped. Others flickered yellow, at large, confirmed alive, last seen fleeing orbital labs during the first waves of the occupation. One profile hovered mid-air, longer than the rest. Dr. Naresh Iqbal, human genome interface theorist, last recorded transmission from a relay tower in the Kuiper Drift, rumored to have defected to a belt commune sympathetic to the Varelians. Lira narrowed her eyes.
Where's the scout team on this one?
En route.
Her adjutant replied.
No resistance expected, but they're masked under a medical quarantine sweep. The locals won't even know what they're walking into.
Good,
she said.
No heroes, no news feeds.
Elsewhere, similar sweeps were already underway. In the domes of Europa's ice ring research colonies, the home of Dr. Thomas Elgin had been sterilized and sealed within hours of his capture. He had surrendered quietly, unknowingly marked during a health audit 6 weeks prior. Now he was a number inside a data fortress, his work extracted, his person archived, his brain chipped. Back aboard the Cynosure, Jace scanned a quiet report in the encrypted underlayer of BeltNet traffic. A list of the missing. Not propaganda, real people. Some were colleagues. One had taught his sister.
They're rounding them up,
he said, voice low.
Not just Varelians, us Terrans too. Anyone who worked with them on the gene lattice interface. Anyone who understood how it actually functioned.
Emma leaned in beside him.
Some of these people helped pioneer post-plague remediation. They stopped suffering. They didn't create some immortality cult.
They're rewriting the roles,
Elias said behind them.
turning contributors into conspirators. That's how consolidation works. When you can't control the past, you kill it and write a new one.
Jace's jaw tightened.
If they get to Iqbal, it'll be worse. He has vault-adjacent datasets. If Connors' people force him into a lattice-based loyalty array.
Emma cut him off.
Then everything changes. No more need for consent. Just genomic obedience.
A silence followed, darker than the void outside the ship.
The hunt's not just about fear, it's about possession. Whoever controls the minds that cracked the code, controls the code itself.
Emma looked back at the list. Yellow markers still outnumbered red. But that gap was closing. One scan, one checkpoint, one captured face at a time. The hunt was on, and the G.U.P was winning.